Hello and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, we're going to be talking about capturing physical box information for records management and storing it in Alfresco. Now you're probably wondering what this solution does. Well, it allows you to enter box data into the iPads in disconnected mode. In other words, they don't need to be connected to the Wi-Fi or the internet in order to enter the data. The kind of information you can enter are things like business unit, account codes, retention codes. Based on your solution, we'll configure the appropriate information to be stored. And of course, you can scan the box barcode using the camera on the iPad. That way you can guarantee the number is entered quickly and easily. Now, the iPads will all be synced up when online, when they can find an internet connection. That way, all the iPads will have each other's data. And of course, that data is then sent to Alfresco. When it gets to Alfresco, it'll automatically create certain folders based on your taxonomy, your file plan, if you will. It will ensure that no duplicates are created. And then, of course, any specific metadata around those created folders will be automatically assigned for searching. Then the actual box information represented by document objects will be created as well, and that information you entered will be assigned for searching. That way you can search for the boxes based on that information. Key thing to note, the iPads do not need to be connected to the internet for data entry. This way you can be in interesting locations and not have to worry about being able to enter the information for your box inventory. So let's do a quick diagram review to make sure we're on the same page. You've got your iPad. People enter in one iPad or several iPads. All right. Whenever they're online, it'll sync to the cloud and then back to the iPad. So in this example, all three iPads would have the same information because of the cloud syncing. And then at some point or at intervals, an iPad can send the data to Alfresco. Once that data gets into Alfresco, it will check for duplicates, of course, and create the appropriate folder structure as well as document objects representing each box. Okay, so the metadata that you entered now becomes searchable in Alfresco, and the idea is from Alfresco Share, your mobile app, or other systems, you'll be able to search that information and be able to do whatever needs to get done with that box information. Here I am at the iPad, and of course from here I'll click the application at the bottom. And we're working with paper records, so we'll click on the paper records icon. And here are all the tables that make up this database. These other tables are what is used to populate the drop-down list in our primary form. And of course, we're working with the paper records, so we'll click on paper records. Here are the records that have been entered. This list could be large or small, depending on what's going on. When I hit New, I'm presented with the form. The red indicates required fields. And of course, based on your solution, you may have a lot more required fields. You may have more fields. You may have less fields. But you'll go through your form, and certain fields will be drop-downs as you see that selection process. Selecting from the drop-down, of course, increases the data integrity. Instead of people manually typing things, we prefer to do the drop-down. When it comes to the box number, we'll click on that. From here, we'll access our camera to be able to take a picture of that barcode label to ensure the box number is entered correctly. Once it identifies the barcode number and it's comfortable, it'll go off and populate that into the box number field. And I'll continue to enter my fields. Either it's drop-down lists like building, or it's manually entering a text field such as the floor and location. This example, this box is sitting in the first floor closet. Now, of course, I want to put in parameters regarding the dates of the documents inside this box. And you've got a good capability here in terms of the level of granularity. In other words, you can simply put the from and to dates being the year, or you could put in the month and the year, or you can put in the month, day, and year. So it really depends on how granular you want to get discussing these particular documents, the ones included in the box. So in this example, what I'm saying is these documents are from January 1st 2000 all the way through February 29th, 2001. And again, you can get as granular as you like, just year, month, day, year. Really depends on your needs. Description of the contents. This is a free-form text field, allows you to put description of the contents that are inside the box. Now I'll choose the box I'm dealing with. Now by virtue of choosing the size of the box, it also automatically gives me the cubic feet. This can be critical to know how much storage space is needed for this inventory. So you know exactly how much space is needed for the various boxes. Once I've selected my box, it'll automatically grab that cubic feet, and then I can enter the inventoried by. So who did this? Put in some initials, as well as, of course, the date it was inventoried. Nice date picker to make that easy. I've also got a comments field at the bottom if I want to add comments to this particular record. But once I'm done, I can simply enter a new one. Go to the next box, if you will. New blank form shows up, same premise. Required fields as well as your drop downs and dates. These are the fields I've entered. So whatever records have been entered or synced from other iPads will appear. I can scroll right to left to see all of the fields. And if I want, based on that scrolling, if I notice something's incorrect, I can edit one of the records. So in this example, I'm going to enter, or edit, I should say, the description of the contents. And once I've done my editing, it's automatically saved, so I can go to the next record, or I can go off and perhaps send this information over to Alfresco. When I'm done, as I said, we'll send this off to Alfresco. I'll do the export feature, and from here I'm going to grab all of the records on this iPad and ship them over to Alfresco. Now this iPad will contain the ones I've entered, as well as if there is that linkage on the internet at this point in time, it'll have everybody's. So from here, I will just email this particular export right off to Alfresco, choosing the mail account. It's automatically coming from this iPad. I'll enter the to subject, and the subject, not incredibly irrelevant. It's really the attachment that makes it relevant, because that's where that data checks will be to make sure we've got the right attachment. But you can enter a subject there that makes sense. And the email and, of course, the email data will be stored in Alfresco, so you will know it's paper records from a subject perspective. And the to, of course, is to AlfRM. Because again, it's going to go right into the repository, so we can take the attachment, decompile it, if you will, all right? And when we parse the information out, we will then load that into Alfresco, and now you'll be able to search on all of this box data. So what did we see? Well, we saw the ability to capture barcode information via the camera on the tablet. We saw the ability to capture metadata about the boxes, including location and contents. We saw the ability to capture this information without the need for Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity. So you can be in all sorts of interesting locations and still be able to complete your box inventory. We also saw the ability to pass this captured information directly to your records management system. And of course, one of the key things is the ability to define your required information. Obviously, this was a great example of the type of information you would capture during a box inventory, but we can tailor it to your business needs. We appreciate your time, and we hope you enjoyed the presentation. And please feel free to reach out to us so we can help you like we help our other clients.